Tonight's headlines: unemployment leaps again, thousands of jobs lost. Dead or alive, President Bush puts a price on Saddam's head. U.S. convoy attacked in Iraq. Also tonight, Eye on America, a family reunion. Find out why this one is like none you've ever seen before. And we'll check out the style and performance of one of the most popular Japanese imports.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
And good evening. Dan is off tonight. I'm John Roberts. It just keeps getting worse. The experts were expecting the unemployment rate to go up again in June, but not this much. It jumped 0.3 of a point, the biggest increase in nearly 2 years, putting it at a 9-year high of 6.4%. The number of Americans unable to find work last month grew by 360,000 to nearly 9.5 million. Anthony Mason has the latest tonight on jobs and the U.S. economy.
There you go. Have a good day.
If you're searching for signs of economic recovery,
These two together?
You won't find them in the jobs numbers. With unemployment surging to 6.4% in June, the economy has now lost nearly 400,000 jobs this year. And that's a worry, because the unemployed don't spend money.
Jobs are really the big wild card in the outlook for consumer spending, and that makes them the big wild card for the economic outlook as a whole.
Manufacturing, which lost another 50,000 jobs in June, was again the worst hit sector. In the past 3 years, 2.6 million factory jobs have disappeared. Low mortgage rates did keep the housing industry booming and added 16,000 construction jobs. But most employers still aren't hiring. So what does that say about the state of the economy?
I'm worried.
Lawrence White, who served on President Carter's Council of Economic Advisors, has heard the predictions by some of a second-half recovery. He doesn't buy them.
There's this bridge about 1.5 miles from here, and I'm sure they could sell it to you.
The government has tried to fuel a recovery. The president has cut taxes. The Federal Reserve has cut interest rates. But the economy has yet to pick up speed.
We have the pedal to the metal, and we've had it there for a while, and the engine isn't picking up. So you start wondering if the engine works the way we think it does.
One reason the unemployment numbers jumped so sharply in June, hundreds of thousands of people re-entered the job market. The government says that's a sign of growing confidence. If that's so, it may be the only encouraging sign in the jobs report. John?
Anthony Mason, thanks. About those low mortgage rates that Anthony mentioned, they are starting now to creep up. A report out today says a 30-year fixed is now averaging 5.4%. That's the highest rate in 7 weeks, but still very low by historical standards. In the current economy, a home of any kind remains an unattainable dream for hundreds of thousands of Americans. CBS News correspondent Lee Cowan has their compelling story.
In any American city on any given day, the nation's economic downturn can be measured by those down on their luck, and that population is on the rise. There are now more homeless families on the street than ever before, up an estimated 19%.
Homeless looks like a young mother with a baby in her arms and a 2-year-old tagging along beside her. That's what homeless looks like in this country.
One survey found that out of the 800,000 people who are homeless in the United States, 200,000 are children in homeless families. And the number of those families requesting help is the steepest in a decade. New York City is just one example. Lines for soup kitchens are getting longer and longer. In fact, there are more homeless families now in Manhattan than since the Great Depression.
Back in the 80s, the typical homeless family was a single mom who was on welfare. Today, we're seeing more and more of the working poor being forced to turn to emergency shelter.
This Atlanta couple was one of them. He had lost his job. She had just given birth to their son. But every shelter they tried was full, so they ended up in an abandoned home.
I sold my rings to even get food.
It didn't work. Their baby died of malnutrition 25 days after he was born.